Today is week 19, day 4. We are going to use the sequence skill today. That's where things come in a specific order. We're also going to use the determine important information strategy. When you are looking for steps, instructions, or the order of a process, it helps to look for words that signal sequence. So there are some words like first, now, next, then, and finally. And these words signal that we are reading about steps in a process. As you read, it is important to pay attention to sentences that use these words when you see these words. First, now, then, next, then, finally. You need to pay attention because it's going to tell you something important. It's going to tell you a step that you need to follow or to remember. It says focus on the most important information. So especially as we read this, pay attention when we get to these time order words. Inside a seed. Seeds are everywhere. They can glide through the air or hitch a ride on an animal's fur. Seeds come in different shapes and sizes, but they are the same in one way. Inside each seed is the beginning of a new plant. Take a look inside a bean to see for yourself. First, pay special attention. Get several dried beans, such as lima beans or pinto beans. Notice how hard the beans feel. Now, place the beans in a container and cover them with water. Let the beans soak overnight. They are bigger and softer now. Next, gently peel off the seed coating. This covering protects the baby plant inside, just as a jacket protects you from the cold. Then, open the bean into its two halves. With a magnifying lens, you can see the little plant that's waiting to grow. Do you see a root and tiny leaves? Around the tiny plant is food. It will use this food as it sprouts and starts to grow. Finally, plant the other beans in potting soil and watch them become bean plants. Which step comes right after you get some beans? Okay, so we have to look back at all our steps. So here is getting some beans, right? So what's the next step? Now, that would be the next step. Sometimes when we see steps in a series, we might not remember them in our heads as we're taking like achievement tests or things like that. And so it's good to kind of learn to skim and define stuff and look back to the article. You can do that. You don't have to just write down what you think you remember. You can look again. Number 2, which step comes before you peel off the seed coat? So, where do we see seed coating? Is right here. See, I skimmed and I saw that. So now I want to look at what's the step that's before that. When does the bean get soft enough to open? So I see this word, softer. So I can look at the words around this word softer and see what I see. Probably will help me with the answer. Number 4, based on the passage, which one is true? Seeds are empty inside. Beans are seeds. Seeds are heavy. Water is bad for beans. Draw a box around the words in the passage that are signal words, or they can be called time order words as well, in a sequence. So that's like first, draw a box around all of those.